These are the notes for 9-3. To start, we're just going to look at, changing the color here, okay. Remembering what exponentiation means, what exponents mean. Exponents mean, oh, this is going to be interesting. Repeated multiplication. I'm going to use this little dot to represent that. So x to the third is going to mean x times x okay, we're multiplying x 3 times by itself. Please remember this is not the same as addition. So when I come down here, a reminder with this is x times x, y, y, y. I'm not putting the multiplication symbols in, but I think you can figure that out. So it means there are 2 x's being multiplied, 3 y's being multiplied. So I need you to remember what exponents mean as we start to work through these in the chapter. Over here, we expanded. So x squared is x. Let's see if I can do this. Then I have x cubed. Okay, well, when those all are multiplied together, because remember there's multiplication symbols, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or x to the 5th power. Over here, I have my x to the 4th. And then I'm going to have x cubed. Okay, so all these multiplied together is the same as saying x to the 7th. Last one down here, I have x, and then I have x squared. And that's going to give me x to the 3rd. So look at how we started. A 2 and a 3, we ended with a 5. A 4 and a 3, we ended with a 7. A 1, remember there would be a 1 here, and a square gave me a 3. So the rule we're going to use is x, when you're multiplying 2 bases, 2 factors with the same base, you're going to add the exponents. And again, if you can't remember, the reason I had you doing the expanded form is go back to expanded form. If you're not sure, what do? Go to this. But once the numbers get really big, it's nice to have the rule. Over here, I have x squared squared. So it's x squared multiplied by itself. Well, you can see now I have x to the 4th. Urgh. Over here, I'm going to have x squared 3 times. So there's 1. I'm going to multiply it by itself. Multiply it by itself again. Well, that gives me x to the 6th. If I come down here, I have x cubed, and I'm going to multiply that by itself 3 times. That's what cubing is. And that gives me x to the 9th. So again, look at what you have. I started with 2 and 2, I ended with 4. 2 and 3 gave me 6. 3 and 3 gave me 9. I have 3 groups of 3. I have 3 groups of 2. I have 2 groups of 2. So this is going to transfer into power to a power rule, sometimes it's called, that when you're raising a power to another power, you're going to multiply the exponents. For our last one, we're going to have xy, x times y, and we're going to multiply it by itself twice. All right, well, that gave me, I have 2 x's, and I have 2 y's. Over here, I have xy 3 times. Well, I ended with 3 x's and 3 y's. And then over here, I have it 5. That gives me x to the 5th, y to the 5th. So again, looking at how we got this, we started with x, y quantity squared. It became x squared, y squared. Same thing with the cubes in the 5th. So our rule here is going to become x to the a. And it's reminding you that it's not just one being raised to the power, it's both of them. So if you like, you can try to go through these examples yourself, then come back and check your answers. So push pause, work through the examples, then check your answers. Over here, this one is you're adding the exponents. I have 8 x's in a row, then 20 x's in a row next to them, so this would be x to the 28th. Over here, you might decide to move the 5 and the 6 next to each other. Multiplication is commutative, so you can do that. You can switch their order. So I have 5 times 6 times r to the 7th times r squared. I took all the multiplication, just put like terms together. So this will give me 30 r to the 9th. This one, and again, remember up here, this was a 5. It wasn't 7 5s in a row. This was a 6, not 2 6s. So here I'm going to multiply the coefficients. 5 times 2 times 3. Well, that's 30. I have 7 x's, then 9 more x's after that, then 11 x's after that. So it's a big, long chain of x's we're adding. 7 plus 9 plus 11, and that will give us 27. This one is our power to a power rule. So I have x to the 9th 6 times. So I'm going to multiply the exponents. That gives me x to the 54th. This one tends to get tricky. Remember, I have 5xy. This is what cubing it means. So that means I'm multiplying the 5 3 times. So it's 125. Look, see how many times the 5 was multiplied? Then I had 3 x's and 3 y's. Over here, using that same idea, 3 to the 4th will give you 81. Remember that 3 is going to be coming up 4 times in a row. X to the 8th, because I'm multiplying power to a power. So 2 times 4 is 8, and y to the 16th, 4 times 4 is 16. On the next page, I have addition and subtraction. Please remember that exponents are affected by multiply and divide because exponents show multiplication. So x squared plus 6x plus 3, if I have an x squared and I have 6 x's and I have a 3, this cannot be simplified. The only thing that will change an exponent is multiplying or dividing. Over here, I have 3x to the 5th, and then I have 9 more x to the 5th. So in the end, I have 12 x to the 5th. Okay, don't add the exponents. Adding the exponents is for multiplying. This, because you're adding them, doesn't affect the exponent at all. And you can, again, push pause, try these, and then come back. This one, combining like terms, this cannot be simplified. These are x cubes, these are x to the 9th. That's as far as you can go. In this example, 8x cubed minus x cubed, this is a very popular question that people get wrong. I have 8x cubes. You take away 1. This is like a 1 is here. So if you had 8 books and someone took 1 book, you'd be left with 7 books, or 7x to the 3rd. This is not 8. If you have a question on that, make sure to ask me. Over here, x to the 10th plus x to the 10th. Do not add the exponents here. That's what you would do if this was a multiply. It's not. It's an add. I have an x to the 10th. Now I have another x to the 10th. So in the end, I have 2 x to the 10th. Over here, now look. No more multiplying. So I'm going to do each part at a time. I'm going to take this half, and I'm going to just multiply the 6 and the 4 and the 6 and the 2. So that's going to give me x to the 24th, y to the 12th, x to the 8th, y to the 12th. Now, again, look, I have 24 x's here and 8 x's here. Well, I could line them all up. That would give me 24 x's, 8 more after that, 8x to the 32. I added 24 and 8, y to the 24. 12 y's and then another 12 y's gives me 24 y's all together in a big long chain. So this would be your final answer. And that concludes our notes for 9-3.